Today we're going to learn about elapsed time. As you can see, elapsed time is the amount of time that passes from the beginning of an event to the end of the event. I've put a couple of clocks here on our page. Our clock in the purple box shows when our event began. For our purposes, let's say that I had a friend come over for a play date, and my friend arrived at 9 o'clock in the morning. You can see up here that sure enough, my clock says 9 o'clock. Let's say that their mother said that they had to be home by 10 o'clock in the morning. So our red clock shows when our play date ended. And sure enough, our clock says 10 o'clock. Well, when we're trying to figure out elapsed time, we want to know how much time passed from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And to do that, we're really going to look at the hands of the clock. We're going to look at the hour hand and the minute hand. My event started at 9 o'clock, and I notice my hour hand is on the 9 and my minute hand on the 12. I'm going to go over to the clock where my event ended, and I'm going to say, oh, I notice my hour hand has changed. It moved from the 9 to the 10. In my mind, I know that's been 1 hour. I look at my minute hand and I say, oh, it's still in the same place. No minutes have passed. Since it's only been 1 hour from 9 to 10 and no minutes, I can say that my elapsed time from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock has been 1 hour. My play date lasted 1 hour. Let's do a couple of examples. On Saturday, I went to see a movie. The movie started at 3 o'clock p.m. and ended at 5 o'clock p.m. How long did the movie last? I'm sure you're looking at our first clock already to see that the movie started at 3 o'clock p.m. And of course, I see my hour and minute hand. I know that it ended at 5. So I'm going to really look at my hands and I'm going to move to my ending time. Ooh, I noticed that it started at 3 and it didn't end until 5. As I look at my clock, I can see that 2 hours have passed. When I look at my minute hand, I see that it remains on the 12, so no minutes have passed, only 2 hours. So I know my elapsed time from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock is 2 hours, and my movie lasted 2 hours. Let's try another one. My mom and I went to Kroger's for bread and milk. We got to the store at 9 o'clock a.m. and left at 10 o'clock a.m. How long did our shopping trip last? I'm looking at my 9 o'clock start time and I'm paying attention to my hands. When I go over here to my end time, I say, oh, my hour changed from 9 to 10. I know that's 1 hour. My minute hand is still on the 12, so I know no minutes have passed. So the elapsed time from 9 to 10 would be 1 hour. Our shopping trip lasted for 1 hour. When it's only hours, usually elapsed time is pretty easy to figure out. It's when minutes get involved that it gets to be a little tougher, so let's try one of those. I checked a good book at the library. I started reading at 1:15 p.m. and my mom called me to help her at 1:30. How long did I get to enjoy my book? I'm going to look at my start time here, 1:15, and sure enough, there are the hands on my clock, 1 and 15. My end time is 1:30. Now, I notice my hour hand here may have moved just a little bit, but it's still 1 o'clock. So no hours have passed. That means I'm going to change to my minute hand. Oh, I started on the 3, and now I've moved down to the 6. Since I'm counting by minutes, I'm going to use my count by 5 rule. And I'm going to start on the 3, because that's when I started. And I'm going to go 5, 10, 15. Oh, no hours have passed, but 15 minutes passed. That means I got to read my book for 15 minutes. You can see these are a little tougher, so let's try another one. I get on the bus every day at 8 o'clock a.m. I arrive at school at 8:25 a.m. How long am I on the bus each day? Over here on our clock, I see my 8 o'clock get on the bus time. And over here, I see my 8:25 get off the bus time. I'm going to check out my hour hand. Oh, it's pointing at the 8. A little past, but it's still in the 8 o'clock range, so no hours have passed. Now I'm going to go to my minute hand. Oh, here it was at the o'clock. And now I notice it's moved from the o'clock all the way around the 5. Since it's minute, I'm going to use my count by 5 rule. And I'm going to say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So from the time I got on the bus to the time I got off the bus, it was 25 minutes. So I'm on the bus for 25 minutes each day. As you go through your assignment today, I want you to make sure that you really start looking for elapsed time. Make sure you look at the first clock and the second clock. Pay close attention to what's happening to the hour hand first and then the minute hand, and let's see if we can't do some elapsed time problems. If you get stuck as you go through your assignment, you can always review the video.